Last Pint Productions presents the New Way podcast. The New Way contains adult content, including pitching, catching, shrimping, dirty tromboning, hot carling, donkey punching, pink socking, blumpkining, and chili dogging. Listener discretion is advised.
So, what's the story?
Well, I want Bruce Willis. I think I can talk to him. It's a story about a senator, a bad guy senator at first. He's traveling around the country on the country's dime, you know, like that Sununu guy used to.
I see, so there's sort of a cynical political thriller comedy.
Yeah, but it's got a heart in the right spot. And anyway, he has an accident. Yeah.
So it's kind of a psychic political thriller comedy with a heart.
With a heart. And not unlike Ghost meets Manchurian Candidate.
Everybody wants to be naked and famous. Everybody wants to be just like me. I'm naked.
Will you help teach me about this? What is it? A new way?
Hello, and welcome to an exciting episode of the New Way podcast, where three geeks sit around and tell you what you should be talking about in regards to movies, television, music, pop culture, beer, sex. I mean, is there anything we don't give advice on, gentlemen?
Well, we're not qualified on any of those.
I beg to differ. No, definitely none of us are qualified in the sex. But we're here in studio. I am Matt Shank. I'm here joined by Ben Wilson. Say hi, Ben.
What's up?
And Nicholas Santacroce.
Hi, everybody.
And we want to welcome any new listeners we have out there in the land of Spotify. And we're going to do something different tonight. A few things different tonight than we normally do.
We're gonna be funny tonight.
We're gonna try. God damn it, we try. This is episode number 60. We've had 60 chances to get this working.
We're not gonna open beers while you're talking and ruin momentum.
No, I'm going to do that. Which you. There we go.
There we go.
What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to talk about how long it's been since our last podcast.
It's not confessional, Matt.
No, this is how. If those of us you don't know, we're on when we're on, as Greg Klein said. When they're on for whatever reason it is, and just be happy that we've brightened the dark world outside, because you don't want to deal with that. We are your beacon of light out there at the New Way. So
if you want to turn on NPR and listen to the fun drives and listen about who's going to be the next Supreme Justice, be our guest. Be our guest.
The Morning Zoo at NPR. I like you just made NPR sound like it's like the Morning Zoo broadcast.
It is now.
It's close. I feel like I hear something. You hearing something?
I thought I heard something over there.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, there we go. Always professional. Oh, sorry. Yes, always professional. See, I turn that into a positive, Nick.
I thought you were setting up like a soundboard sound effect.
No, I really thought I heard music.
I really thought that was about to be a setup right there.
Yeah, no.
Take that from the top.
Like,
say,
did you hear something?
Say, did you hear something? And cue up something good. No, go again. Start it over again.
Wait. Do you hear something at the door? I don't know. That of course, those of you that are not familiar with pop culture, that is the sound of Ben's penis being presented on a table, as it often is at Thanksgiving or other family gatherings.
No one knows.
No one's right. That's then I follow with my penis, and and then Nick.
What's my penis?
Yeah, Nick just likes to let out.
That's pretty good. What is that?
So
what is that? That's a new one.
It's gonna be super inside baseball for a lot of people out there.
No.
So we I don't even remember if we talked about the Derby de Mayo party on any of our podcasts yet. I don't know if we did. We got a little bit out of order, but
Filed under shit show.
Yeah, so on Cinco de Mayo happened the same day as the Kentucky Derby, so I threw a Derby de Mayo party here, and one of the things we decided to do is we brought everyone into the studio in groups to do kind of like live karaoke, and we recorded an album, our Derby de Mayo album, which if you guys really want to hear it, we might bring some out on some of our episodes, but I realized that's some really good sound bites I could pull from that album, and I only just did like 4 from that one, and that was the thing. But I had I don't even know when to break out Ben's. It's just Ben. Do you know? Okay, this is what.
If our listening audience can imagine,
Ben had actually got like really excited doing a boy band thing, and he had an orgasm on air. So if you want to hear Ben orgasm, this is it.
Ooh, yeah. That's good. That's good.
That's right. We have a lot of
To
songs.
our audience, just picture a raging party going on in the background, and then 2 or 3 or 4 people at a time, Matt would seduce back into his studio, close up the door, put up the foam,
Seduce.
and then have them record
No.
drunk as shit their song
First of all, no foam. In fact, so we'll show some pictures here of the studio at some point. It was a no foam
That's
party.
the name of your that's the name of your label. No foam
No
studios.
foam studios. No, so my office in my house, the people that lived here before put this. I don't know why they did this. They put this glass window in this room that just looks out to the hallway, and it's got like a bird mural on it. It's rather lovely, but it's like. It's something
Etched
that would be
in the glass.
like it would be something if I looked out onto like the house or onto like a veranda or something.
Onto a leafy glen.
Leafy Glen. Something like that would be light. But I just look at my hall. I can literally just see a poster in the hall and like part of a linen closet, and so people were watching us. Like we're shooting some weird porn back
Through
here,
the foliage.
through the glass, and it was
Literally
interesting.
through the looking glass.
What are those birds? Do you know what they are?
Swallows,
Maybe a little tit.
cranes.
That's why you don't like them so much. They're just little tits.
They're just we know. Yes, and we know Matt
Does tits
really
or a bird?
Matt likes the big and the big ones out there. Do you know who
Come on,
who that
Matt.
is? By the way,
nothing swallows in this room.
shut up. Speak for yourself. Do you know where that poll is from? By the way, do you know who this
Which
is?
one? Where are we?
Jitties,
Oh,
Do you know who that is?
jitties, 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 jitties.
It sounds kind of familiar, but I'm not quite sure.
I love that no one can pick that because
I want to say, like, is it PCU?
Jitties,
Full House?
jitties.
it is not from pop culture.
Uncle
It's
Joey?
not really pop culture.
Well,
It's political.
oh, wait, is that
That's our fucking president accidentally saying titties in a speech when he meant to say cities.
Jitties,
And now
Oh
you can
my
totally
God, now
hear
you
that
can hear
it's
it.
just him just
jitties.
yeah,
now you can hear it. Oh my God.
I hear it.
Yanni.
That is Laurel.
Titties.
Wow, that's crazy. I can hear it now. It's clearly
Jones.
Jitties.
It's
Scatman Jones.
clearly Trump saying titties, but I couldn't place it.
I know, and the same thing happened to me, and I had to look up the drop. It's a drop. It's on the Stern show.
Wow.
And I was like, "Who is that?" And I was thinking all these things. I'm like, "No." And then once you know, it's very obvious that this is Donald
Jitties.
Trump.
Yeah.
Like it's so obvious.
They got the drop on you.
There we go.
I didn't recognize it because he didn't slur, or I didn't hear any sniffling or slurring.
And it was coherent, and it was a complete thought, so it was good. So, Nick, you recently returned from a foreign land. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your trip to Australia?
Well, you gotta
you have a ghost?
I gotta tighten up this microphone. It's drifting away from me. Yeah,
Your mic doesn't want
Look,
anything
watch,
to do with
watch
you.
it. It's there now. I think it's. It never did that before. Don't you want to hear my story of Australia?
I think you need to tighten it a little bit.
All right, we'll do it later.
I want to hear a story about the girl who was dressed as Deadpool that you met on Tinder.
That's a story, but I'm not going to.
I mean,
Talk about that.
It involves,
Titties.
but that's just for what Nick told me. So,
I do not kiss and tell, gentlemen.
okay.
I am a man of class and culture, and I like to remain that way.
Well, what kind of class and culture did you find in Australia?
Well, Australia is a pretty easy place to go to if you've ever been out of the country. It's not like you're dropping down in the middle of Tokyo and you have this culture shock. It's these people that they don't sound American, obviously, but everything else seems pretty much the same. Burger Kings are called Hungry Jacks. That took a little getting used to. Other than that, and the currency exchange is a very comfortable place to go.
It took a little getting used.
Took a little getting used to.
Were you just like, what the fuck is? I
You
forgot.
walked
That's
by,
a-
you were just
it's
like,
a Burger
I don't
King.
know about this fucking Hungry
It
Jacks.
was really unsettling.
I am not a Hungry Jack. I'm a Burger King. Oh, there it is.
That font looks startlingly familiar. But all these are really fun. Like they're super easy to talk to. You could walk into a bar and just strike up an awkward conversation, and they don't acknowledge that you're being awkward and weird loner in the middle of. They'll like they bring you in the conversation, you know. So it was neat meeting people and talking to people about
Wait,
politics.
do people acknowledge that you're a weird loner in America at bars?
Well, okay, look, if you're at a karaoke bar in America and you're by yourself, okay, and you just walk up and you go, "Hey guys, what are you drinking?" People will be like, "That's weird. You don't just walk up to a crowd and just start a
That's
conversation."
like every trip Ben Wilson's ever taken.
I was about to say, I was like, unless you're me.
Unless you're Ben Effortless Wilson.
Well, my middle name is Paul, so it doesn't work the same way for me, and I'm a people person. But in Australia, like that guard was like soon let down because they're just very engaging and very easy to talk to, which was neat, especially when you're by yourself on the exact opposite side of the earth.
You're just like sitting there. I like turtles. And they're like, "Oh, well, that's great. That's great, Nick."
You like what up tortoises? Talk about that. You know, get a pint. You know,
It went real Brooklyn on that one.
I know. I don't.
How about those fucking New York? I mean, those Australian tortoises. Yeah.
I can do. Yeah, go for another trip with a Bobby. You know.
Hey, you visited Sydney or Perth? I think you go to Perth. It's a much better place than Melbourne.
They don't call it shrimp. They call it prawns over there. I did not talk my Australian accent.
It's Melbourne.
Not once. Not even to comedic effect. Because I was
No.
afraid of that happening.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Well, I locked myself in my room as a kid and watched Crocodile Dundee and VHS till I had that accent down. I can do it if I have a minute to warm up.
You know, he's from the Bronx. He's not actually from Australia.
Paul Hogan?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does a great Australian accent.
That's
So,
not true.
I learned from the best. At any rate.
Would that have broken at you if you found out that Paul Hogan
poor-
was
poor-
like just some character actor from fucking
Paul Hogan.
Poughkeepsie?
Paul Hogan, may he rest in peace.
He's not dead.
I know, that was
Come
the joke.
now.
Remember, that was the original Val Johnson of the first season of The New Way. I thought that Paul Hogan had died. And
Yeah, it was season 2.
did you hear that he is doing something called Mr. Dundee?
They call me Mr. Dundee.
What if it's not at all related to Crocodile Dundee? It's just he just happened to pick a character like, well, your character, you're auditioning for Mr. Dundee, and he's like, I got this.
Apparently, it's like one of those JCVD sort of things where it's like where he's playing himself, but he's like a crabbier version of himself or something. I have no idea.
Did you guys watch Last Man?
Last Man on Earth? Yeah.
I love the gag. There's this Australian girl as a character, and they only know her by her first name, and it's not until like late in the second season they go, "Hey, you know what is your last name? We never asked you." And she like her like heart sinks. You can see you get all. They don't really. What is it? What is it? And they push her. They push her. She goes, "Dundee. It's Dundee." And they go, "What? It's Dundee." Such a good gag.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. So this nostalgia porn that like. Maybe nostalgia porn is our way of giving back to actors that otherwise would have just gone into like a quiet sleep. Yeah, like I mean,
if they haven't already killed themselves by drug-induced, suicide attempt.
But I mean, maybe
we throw them a bone.
Nostalgia porn is maybe it's saving people like left and right that would have otherwise just washed themselves up. Unless it's Roseanne who got both member buried and then Cosby'd herself out of her own nostalgia porn. But
Cosby? Well, okay.
She took a bunch of Ambien and went racist. You know, it's
I don't buy the Ambien thing.
It's a little Cosby.
1 second.
Wasn't
just has problems.
Wasn't Bill giving out the pills and secretly?
Yeah. Okay.
And they weren't Ambien.
Okay, my metaphor
They were
was not perfect.
It's not perfect.
Were there any like movie previews or anything out in was anything playing in theaters out there?
Well, there were.
I mean, like right now,
they seem pretty current too.
Well, I feel like a lot of times, like just for example, like Jurassic World just opened in Australia well before it opened. It opened in Australia 2 weeks before it opened here.
Huh. They had the Avengers Infinity War up everywhere. That was the predominant. And so actually Solo had just come out at the same time. I think they released the same point. But the best thing I saw in Australia, I didn't see a movie or go out, but I did see a commercial for the Grout Guy, which is a local in Perth.
You should have told me to pull that clip. I would have pulled the
It's
Grout
okay, I'll
Guy.
sing it. We'll take the old grout out and put the new grout in.
Hold on, let's get the Grout Guy commercial.
I heard
it.
I heard it one morning before the shoot, and it haunts me, but in a beautiful way.
I don't apologize to any new listeners that we have out there, but for having to listen to the Grout Guy. But
I'm apologize to our new listeners for introducing them to a brand new earworm that they'll show all their friends. Well, here it is, the Grout Guy.
We'll take the old grout out
and put the new grout in. Everybody. We'll fix your leaking shower, make it new and sparkling. Oh, bring it home. Trumpets. Wait,
The grout
here
guy.
it comes. Hey, you. It's so epic. How can you not
No,
love
see,
that?
Ben likes the only part of it
scourging
I
it.
like is that when they say "goy," and they say that
Grout
really quick.
guy.
Grout guy.
Because they're so not into it at that. Like, everything else about the whole thing is epic, and those ones are just like, the grout guy, the grout guy. Is that what you wanted? All right, good to go. Interesting, you brought up Solo, which is the only other thing I want to talk about before we get to our main event of the night. So we're in the midst of another summer movie season that I think kicked off really strong with Infinity War and Deadpool 2.
What was that?
What's that?
What was that?
What was that?
I must have missed that one.
It was in the last, whatever the last episode we recorded was.
Oh, right.
When we did our Marvel episode. But, we're in the middle of all these summer movies, and I really, really want to talk for just a second about Solo. Because it's the most troubling thing to me about what's going on with movies right now I don't know why that one is getting me to the most, but Solo was a movie that I thought was going to be a shit show. Everything going on behind scenes seemed to be setting it up to be a failure of epic proportions. I was legitimately saying, okay, go ahead and surprise me. Like, I went into that movie thinking it was going to be a mess, other than Ron Howard.
So here's the thing that I thought about that movie is that I never really fucking cared about that movie. When they announced all of the Star Wars spinoffs, I was like, why do we need to know a Han Solo? Like, why do we need a Han Solo movie? You and I both discussed.
Yeah.
We were like, a Lando movie would be far more interesting because we have no idea who Lando is. I mean, like, because he's he's a even shadier character, seems more duplicitous, and definitely has kind of this background. And obviously, they touch on that in the movie. But there are so many other, and
He didn't make the Kessel Run, dude.
and when they're just saying, oh,
He
we're
was
going to
there.
release 2 Star Wars movies a year, and I'm thinking, well, Disney's the machine's taken over now at this point, and it is what it is.
I saw a cartoon
But-
of like this Mickey Mouse in like a straw hat, chewing on a piece of wheat, with no shirt, just overalls, with these bunch of empty buckets on, like 10 empty buckets under his arms. And it just said, haha, good morning, sunshine. And he's going up to a emaciated cow with the ribs sticking out. And it said
God.
Star Wars on the side of the cow. And it's really,
Christ.
it's weird because at the one hand, I'm like, oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, when's the next Avengers coming out? They're gonna tell us the title of Avengers 4 soon, I can't wait. I will take any superhero movie. I'll take one a month for the rest of my life. But it's this something like the way that Disney is cashing in on the Star Wars rights that feels like wrong to me.
Well, but see, here's the thing that's interesting to me is that I think we all kind of had the same preconceived notion, is that why make a Solo movie? There doesn't seem to be a reason to make a Solo movie. But
I think it's fatigue, man. I really do.
no, but I was inherently interested in it. Mainly because I'm hearing these set reports. I remember at one point they said that the dailies looked like Ace Ventura, Han Solo Pet Detective, and they said that they
no.
brought in acting coaches and I was like. At that point, I was like, I have to see this movie. Like, I've got to see what a mess this movie is. And then Ron Howard comes in. They have the whole shakeup. He reshoots a movie and to race for the most arbitrary launch date. And it makes zero sense. It's the one part where Disney's financials. I don't understand anyone on the executive level not saying, "Hey, why don't we give more time to shoot and edit the movie?" And maybe distance ourselves a little bit from the last Star Wars movie and from this other big Avengers movie, which we're thinking might be kind of big. But instead, they bring it out. I mean, if Avengers hadn't gotten pushed back to April and it opened a week or two, it was supposed to open like a week or 2 weeks before Solo would have done even worse.
Right.
Based on people still just going to see Avengers for the 4th and 5th time. The problem is that Solo is a good movie. It's not a great movie.
No, it's not. But it's a super entertaining movie.
It's a
good movie.
It is fun. It's well cast. It's got good, fun characters. There's nothing embarrassing to me watching that Solo movie. I think it works on everything that it's set out to do. What's my favorite thing that I'm seeing now is I'll go on Facebook and I'm still seeing people that are just now getting to see Solo and they're like, why did everyone shit on this movie? And I'm wondering if it's just everyone that shat on it didn't even see it for the most part, and they just shat on it or whatever. But it was like there was
they
this,
still have
this backlash.
bad feelings from The Last Jedi.
And I think that's
Last
way
Jedi.
more that did it.
Now, Force Awakens did great in the box office, and for the most part, got good reviews and was well received. I didn't love Force Awakens. It took me a couple times of repeated viewings to get on board.
I went the other way, actually.
I liked it better.
I really liked it the first time I saw it, and after I saw it one or two more times, I was just like, yeah.
Well, either way, it's not exactly a vote of confidence to have to watch a movie 3 times before you like it, or it gets worse every time you see it.
Right.
Either way, it's not a great movie. And then Last Jedi was, to me, just objectively a bad film. And people really laid on that director. Was it Ryan
Johnson?
Yeah. And, it kind of is what it is. And people said, just let it go. But people want a good Star Wars universe. And they're still clinging to old characters and kind of rushing through it. And I think that the combination of people actively... Like, no one wanted to come out against... Force Awakens. It was too raw. We've
made the argument multiple times. Like, I think that there's a difference between it being objectively a bad film or objectively a bad Star Wars film. And I think that the latter is where everyone has this preconceived notion of what happens in the Star Wars universe is A, B, C, and D. And that this is the way that these characters have an arc. I don't think that the movie's a bad movie at all. I think it's a perfectly competently made movie. It's got lots of really good moments.
Wait, Last Jedi or Han?
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Ugh, disagree.
No, I don't think Last Jedi is an easy movie. I think it's a hard movie. It's a hard movie to get through because there's a lot that's there's a lot that's happening that it's bucking your motion.
Even Hamill said that. Like, even Hamill was the one who basically said, "I understand this is a movie that's trying to challenge the good evil like dichotomy. Basically, it's trying to do something different." And it's trying to be the Empire of just being like there's a lot of gray area.
Was that before or after he basically said that the character he was playing wasn't Luke Skywalker?
Yeah. Okay. So
after.
I have two.
Exactly.
I have
backpedal.
I have two major. First of all, I have a major issue with his whole thing about Luke Skywalker. But there's 2 issues I have with that movie, and something you said that I'll get to that one second. But the first one is that Luke Skywalker in that movie does exactly what every single fucking old man Jedi has done in this series since the beginning. Obi-Wan, I don't want to train this kid. I don't want to do it. I made all these mistakes before. I don't want to do it. Yoda, he's too old.
Exile.
You
Yoda
can't do it. Qui-Gon Jinn, you shouldn't chain him. He's too old. It's fucking that is what it's literally inbred into the Jedi to say. Hey, if someone brings you a pupil, I want you to train them unless something goes wrong. I want you to completely turn your back on everything. It is the Jedi way.
I've seen you get heated about this on social media, and I don't think that
drives me fucking nuts.
I agree. That's not the reason that it didn't feel like Luke to me.
Why does it not feel like Luke?
I'm not gonna push back on that because it's true. Like it happened with Yoda, it happened with Obi-Wan. They become recluse. They run away and they train the next Jedi. It's the circle of Jedi life,
and then they die. Yeah, that's like literally what they do. It's like they're like fucking Black Widow spiders.
Then they become the hologram ghosts, and they only come by during the Yub Nub bonfires. But the thing about Luke, Yub Nub.
I'm sorry, that doesn't exist in Star Wars canon anymore.
Oh, fuck you. The thing about The Last Jedi, though, I gotta tell my Chris Shanks story. So we're all seeing the giant, we had like, what, 10 seats reserved.
Oh, I thought he was dead for half that movie.
Well, no. Before he went comatose, he was sitting next to me at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if you remember that. He got up during the scene where Luke drinks that green milk. Mm-hmm. He went to the bathroom and he came back. I remember him like leaning in. He goes, "Hey Nick, what I miss?" I go, "Oh, nothing much." Luke went up to a manatee alien with 6 arms and titties, and he squirted out this like mint green milk and just angrily drank it down in front of Ray. And he goes, "Oh, fuck you, what really happened?" And I go, "No, that was it." "Oh, fine, I'll look it up later." Totally didn't believe
First
me.
of all, he drank it hungrily, not angrily.
He looked angry.
No,
Luke I know would drink it hungrily.
So we can all argue about who's our Luke, not my Luke. Hashtag not Nick's Luke. Hashtag totally Matt's Luke. But the other problem is when we talk about good movie versus good Star Wars movie, there is objectively one good Star Wars movie, and that is Empire
Return of
Strikes
the
Back. Empire Strikes Back is the one good. First of all, if you tell me that Anthony Daniels C-3PO in the first Star Wars is not the most annoying, horrible fucking character on par, I'm going to say, with Jar Jar, then you're fucking lying yourself.
I'm
Go
gonna
back and watch
debunk
that movie.
with one question, Matt.
Go for it.
Is Salacious Crumb in Empire Strikes Back?
No, first of all, Salacious Crumb is fucking amazing and the best named character.
Salacious Crumb in Empire?
But you realize my brother, so my brother's 7 years older than me. His generation was like, why are there a bunch of fucking bear midgets in this movie? What happened to our Star Wars? Not my Star Wars. And fucking this movie sucks. Great Emperor, great all this other shit.
Meanwhile, Matt's in his onesie watching Ewok Adventure in the basement.
Exactly, for like the 30th time.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I
had a crush on that curly haired girl.
That's what's fascinating me about the Star Wars universe is everyone has got blinders on as to what's good Star Wars movie was bad, and my favorite really is the 1-2 punch of Force Awakens and Last Jedi, because Force Awakens comes out and they go, oh, it's too much like the old Star Wars. Do something new. And then Last Jedi comes out and like, whoa. Let's recut this movie and make it better.
We gave you a casino planet, horse alien chase. What more do you want?
Yeah, I didn't like that scene. But everything else I'm okay with. But anyway.
But you know what, Matt, though? Here's why I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that now, and they mentioned this several times. And by mention, I mean beat you over the fucking head with it. That, you know, this is new, past is the past, we're moving on to a new age. They're killing off, Luke, they're going to kill off Leia, and they're moving forward with
but
new
they're bringing
characters.
back Billy D.
Well,
No, they are.
They are for real? Okay. Well, look.
And JJ is trying to find out what the next Ewok is. He's working on it right now.
I just want them to, like, let's commit to Rey and Finn. Let's start a new
and Poe
world.
And Poe Dameron.
Of course.
Okay. All right. Well,
Sexist
we'll
asshole.
return to this one during our Star Wars.
What about Laura Dern?
I'm sure we can talk about.
She
it a
has
lot more,
purple
but
hair. She belongs in the Star Wars universe.
I will say, I feel like that the Last Jedi, when looked at through an objective lens 10 years from now, will probably have a more favorable view from the fans after we see what's happening with what Disney,
like the Trump administration.
No. Look, if people are now, first of all, last year people somehow said that Attack of the Clones was better than Last Jedi. So if you can get rose-colored glasses for Attack of the Clones, you can make any fucking polish any turd. I mean, because Attack of the Clones is one of the most awful movies I've.
Who played Jango Fett in that?
It was Tamura Morrison, a New Zealand dude.
Nice.
And then they re-recorded all of the stormtroopers, so they now all have a New Zealand accent, inexplicably.
He's now good to me alive.
Which is why I'm glad there aren't any Matts in the Star Wars universe, so you don't have a bunch of, like, fucking stormtroopers like, Mitt. Hey, what's going on, Mitt?
That's sort of like how Ben says his own name in Tennessee.
Bean.
He goes, Ben. You say Ben Wilson. This is Ben.
All right.
Before.
You'd say it. It's like you got the Tennessee accent that comes out sometimes, and then you go bin. And
Right.
it's like New Zealand. I only just put that together just now.
I have no idea.
Bin Wilson.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, we're gonna get to our main event of the night. We want to do a few more of these things. We're gonna do a game tonight, live, pre-recorded, whatever the fuck. This is live for us.
Live to tape.
If you've ever listened to the podcast, you know we don't edit. So this is what happens on the podcast, happens on the podcast. So Ben and I are going to try to stitch together one where he left in the middle of it 2 weeks ago and see if we can salvage that. And
He just left.
He had to go. There was a phone call. But
His bookie.
So we're going to, before we get to tonight's game, I did also, Ben, I don't know if you saw these. I showed Nick, but I got these buzzers for us to maybe do a trivia one night. And these buzzers, you can actually record what you want to buzz in with. So I used clips from the show to do these. So if one person could buzz in with, which would be Ben's Any More Treats. And then, of course,
Sounds
we
very
have...
labored.
And that's Nerd Bro Motherfucker. So I think we'll try to get a trivia going maybe sometime next few episodes. But tonight, we have a random idea that popped into my head on Monday evening that I
Strip poker.
that would be a really awful for everyone.
We're like, already done it.
Yeah, it would be awful for the audience and way worse for us. I mean, just
Ben,
no winners.
Ben doesn't want to play it twice in one day.
So we are going to play what I'm calling the movie pitch game, trademark. No, and what
there
I've
a theme
done
song?
is I don't exactly have a theme song, but there's something I do have involved here. So this is the premise of the game. I have made cards where I went onto a random title generator online, and I generated at random 10 different titles for movies.
These are beautiful cards, Matt. They
I
look
did
very professional.
Except when you get to the actors one, the ink started to run out, so they changed color a little bit. But so we're gonna blindly, each one of us, choose one title card, which will be the title of a film that we're going to pitch to you, and then we're going to pick 2 actors and 2 actresses, and that is our movie.
Can't we just take them off of the top there?
Yeah, you can do them off the top.
Yeah, let's just do them off the top.
Well, why don't you just do whatever you want?
I shuffle them.
I want to take one in the middle.
Well,
You can do whatever you want.
No, I'm just saying it's easier. The metrics of it are easier instead of
I want to
passing
take
them
one
out.
from the middle.
It doesn't. No, because he's going to pass it out because I can't get over there anyway, so it's
Yeah,
going to get
okay.
passed out.
It's going to get passed out.
But
Ben.
the main thing is once a title and or actor actress, anything that's been used is off the table. So you're going to hold on to your cards and do it. But you're going to get about 60 seconds to think of your idea. The other 2 people are going to fill time, talk, make fun of you, talk about what it looks like when you're thinking real hard and that kind of thing. And then you're going to pitch your movie. Now,
So it's 2 actors and 2 actresses.
you're gonna have four cast members in your movie. 2 actors, 2 actresses.
Okay.
There are 20 of each to choose from, and there are 10 movie titles. So I'm hoping we get through a couple for each of us. Now,
we'll see.
once you have made your pitch, we will determine one of 2 things: either
It stinks.
or
I love it.
that, by the way, is Beth singing "I Love It" from our Derby to Mile. That's Ben's wife.
I love it. It stinks.
Okay, those are the 2 choices. Either we buy your pitch or we don't. Now, I have added
I really don't care. I love it.
I have added one interesting thing to this. Once you have thought of your pitch, you're going to tell me what kind of genre you're going for. And I have 10
Softcore porn.
different
that a
movie
genre?
trailer type songs I've got on here. So we could have something like adventure.
Oh, nice. Okay, great.
We could have something like epic love story. We could have
I'm gonna do that one.
something like serious epic trailer. Or maybe we want to do an upbeat family movie.
Hillary Duff in.
Yeah, or a 90s comedy. You could choose that one. But
Amanda Bynes in her.
I have 10
Best
on,
role yet.
I have 10 on here. I'll give you kind of a choice to do that, and that's going to play quietly in the background as you pitch your movie.
Okay.
Is
Sounds
Hillary
good.
Duff in this stack of actors?
It's actually just 20 Hillary Duffs on
Yes.
there. It's going to be Hillary Duff and Hillary Duff. So who wants... Oh, yeah, go.
Well, I was gonna say
The Parent Trap
How
5.
did you select the actors and actresses? Were those random?
I went through kind of like a top actors, actresses, threw in a couple things, but they're mostly... I'll put it this way. You cannot afford... the people I've put on
Okay,
these
so we
cards
can't
to be in
afford
your
this
movie. All right, so this is a good cast. You're not dealing with any schlubs on here. I thought about making it weird, but then I'd be too. I didn't want to be directing because I'm doing this as well, so I want to be participating.
I think you should go first, Matt.
Oh shit. Okay, hand me
I think you should go first.
hand me a title card and 2 of each of the actors, 2 actors, 2 actresses.
Well, I'm going to hand you the stack so you can pick.
See, this is what I'm talking about. We're just flipping.
You can just hand me one.
flip it and say it.
It doesn't take any extra.
It only takes 30 seconds of dead air.
All right, we got there. I'm picking 2 actresses on my pretty cards.
Dead air is
right
better
there.
than talking over each other.
And then,
Right.
I don't know.
And then the actor cards.
Well, I just prefer bickering, but I'm glad we got.
I thought that Nick was going.
As
to
you can see, it started to run out.
I think it's better if Nick just announces them. If he picks them and announces.
Well,
them.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell you right
You can look at
now.
it. You gotta be able to look at it.
So I'm gonna read the actors and actresses out first for you. My movie has got Will Smith
Yes.
and Tom Cruise. Ooh,
Box office
nice.
gold.
Lord. Oh man. starring alongside Lupita Nyong'o and Meryl Streep.
Wow.
And they are all appearing in the film Cat Without a Conscience. And now you guys fill some time.
So wait.
Matt's wishing that he had Cat Dennis.
Here's what we need to put on the Jeopardy music. I don't
have.
When it runs out.
Let's make this game harder.
We can listen to that in the background a little bit. Okay.
So what do you think? So actually, that was the only title that I saw because he sent me that picture.
That's a cat with no name. What is it called again?
A cat without a conscience.
Without a conscience.
So I think that I think it should be, if it's personally me, I don't think it should actually be literally about a cat without a conscience. I think it's someone named Catherine who's like a hitman or a hitwoman. Meryl Streep, hitwoman. Oh, she's never done
Don't
that
give him any
before.
ideas. He's still thinking.
I was kind of the way I was going to go, but now I'm a little fucked. Okay.
We're supposed to be filming this time making fun of Matt's thinking face. I thought was the.
I also like the coupling, the strange coupling of Meryl Streep and Tom Cruise as like a married couple.
God damn it, stop it! All right, okay, the idea of you guys doing shit is a bad idea.
Or a sequel to The Wiz.
Just go.
Okay, so I'm gonna put on the.
You cut me off at sequel to The Wiz. You didn't want to hear where I was going with that.
I'm gonna put this on. This is gonna have my Michael Bay action thriller trailer music for it.
Naturally.
Okay, so it's gonna be kind of a thriller. So we have two sets of neighbors that live, actually three houses alongside. One is a mysterious older spinster woman played by Meryl Streep. Next to her is a young closeted gay man played by Tom Cruise. It's going to be a big breakout role for him. Young-ish.
Is he also a Scientologist?
He's maybe also a Scientologist. And next to them are the couple Will Smith and Lupita Nyong'o. And the idea is that it's going to be kind of a thriller about cat burglars. That's kind of where I'm thinking about it. So that is where we find the titular Cat Without a Conscience. Now, the way I'm picturing is that it's a mystery as to there starts to be thefts in the neighborhood. And we'll make it kind of very topical. There's a lot of racial issues going on in the neighborhood with the young African American couple, and a lot of fingers being pointed that way. But
you didn't have to pair them together, you know. Meryl Streep could have married Will Smith.
Wait a second.
She could have, but she's
Hey, let's not interrupt him. Let's let him get through it.
All right,
I just broke my whole set of concentration.
You got racial tension. Go ahead.
Hey, listen. Let's let him get through it.
So the racial tension. That's right. Let's just ratchet up this trailer here. Right? So this is a terrible idea, by the way.
I love it.
So, but when we find out,
Ooh, nice.
The Cat Without a Conscience is actually one of Meryl Streep. Actually, as an old woman, has an army of cats that she's living with. That's the big reveal at the end. She's got a basement literally just chock full of disgusting, foul cat creatures. Because cats are, by the way, ironically, my least favorite fucking animal on the planet. And it turns out she is also part cat. She is the cat without a conscience.
Wow.
That's right. And Tom Cruise is wanted to rob in a bunch of places too. But that's so anyway, this fucking was way harder than I thought. And it was the one title I did not want to get. It's the same as you. It's the longest title, so it's the one that you kind of
only one I saw.
You glance off of the thing.
All right, Meryl, clear off some space for your next Oscar.
I'm gonna just beat y'all to it and let you know that
It stinks.
That's right, and I don't think
that.
that one's gonna go. But all right,
I'm not sure. I think that you were going somewhere with it, though.
Well, the problem. Okay, so I think let's not have other people guess the premise of this because you went for literally the first two things I thought of,
right?
And then
he doesn't even have to tell us what he got until that
is another way to do it, which could be kind of fun, is that you look at it. I like that better. You look at it, you don't tell us, and we're going to just kind of sit and watch Ben's thought process over here. So, Ben, you have about 60 seconds. I'm going to play our... what is that, like, sound? Maybe it's you... Oh, it's the cars.
Okay.
Oh, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Oh.
So, do you have anything that's kind of, like, magical sounding?
I have adventure... Or I have.
I refuse to believe you don't have the Harry Potter score readily available.
I have sci-fi space. I have quirky indie comedy.
Close enough.
Let's try adventure. See if this does anything.
Okay.
Okay.
So, an older gentleman, married gentleman, played by Tom Hanks, is on a cruise with his wife. They are going through the South Pacific. There's a rogue wave. The ship tumbles over. He finds himself overboard. Strangely, not unlike Castaway. But however, he finds himself washed up near Wellington, New Zealand. But he has no memory of who he is or why he is there.
Okay, like it.
Wellington, Florida.
Also a possibility.
Different movie.
Anyways, so he bands himself together with the locals, but keeps on hearing strange voices, and he feels like they're coming from a mountain in the distance, and he doesn't understand where these voices are coming from or why he's being drawn there. And in his dreams, he keeps seeing two specific women, very pixie-like, kind of drawing him in, played by Rosario Dawson and Sandra Bullock.
Fuck. Oh, okay, that's fine.
But almost in a magical sense. So, with the help of a local, essentially a local former circus performer, Peter Dinklage, who believes this character's story, and that he's actually believes him, takes him on a journey up into the mountains where they discover that there actually is a mystical race of fairies that help protect and guard over humanity in the world.
Wow. Bet you wish you had
And
Tom
the
Cruise
movie
now.
is called Girls of the Mountain.
How did you come up with the titles?
I did a random title generator.
Wow.
That was really well done. Well,
Thank you.
Great
Very good.
job.
Putting us to shame
I
already.
know. I'm putting me to shame.
I'll see it. I love it.
Yeah, let's get Beth
It's
to
got
weigh
Tom
in.
Hanks in it. I love it.
True.
It's got Tom Hanks and Peter Dinklage.
So yeah, Beth is giving you
I love it.
a thumbs up. She's good to go. All right, Nick.
I'm mixing them up here.
Yeah, this is that also is just like the worst. I realize that there's a reason why you don't like stack a cast with two. Like, you can't have Will Smith and Tom Cruise playing opposite one another.
Here would be the funniest thing. Well, first off, you get your reading yours, because here would be the funniest thing, Matt, is like, so we're on a podcast. Just imagine like there's someone like, in the studio just right. It's gonna be like the South Park episode where he's like coming in, where Cartman's coming up with the Adam Sandler movie ideas. He's gonna be like, "Oh, that's a good one."
Listen, not just because it's Rosario Dawson in it, but I watched Girls in the Mountain. I mean, Rosario Dawson playing a fairy living in a mountain on like
In New Zealand.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
I'm glad that you like the concept.
All right, I think I'm ready.
All right, would you like a theme? What kind of theme music are you looking for here?
Thriller.
Like
Bum 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 bum.
not horror, thriller, not horror.
You could do. Think of like a.
I have a retro horror.
Not a full-on Stephen King horror, but a Stephen King inspired.
I don't want to. I may
It's
have
a
to use.
sequel. It's a sequel to The Green Mile.
I'm gonna. Let's try this.
All right. 10 years have passed since the events of The Green Mile. Tom Hanks is dead. He's stuck somewhere in New Zealand, I guess, looking for
Fucking
fairies.
shut your mouth right now. How
And
dare you, Kevin.
the prison that once held John Coffey and all those despicable inmates is kind of in disarray. No real leadership. Christian Bale stars as the new warden of the Green Mile prison. I don't know. Was there a name for the Green Mile prison? He's the head.
It's not. Yeah, it's. I forget where. Yeah, something in Mississippi name.
Now, no one wants to work there anymore. They've heard the stories of the supernatural inmates, and the reputation of these inmates are terrifying. And in fact, it's not burly men answering the call, the want ads. It's two women who want to switch things up, shake things up a little bit, be the new wardens.
The new female Ghostbusters.
Well, no, I'm not going there. Directed
Stop
by
it.
Paul Feig. They end up meeting Christian Bale and proving that they're tough enough to handle this, and they're going to turn this prison back to where it used to be.
All right.
So they walk the halls, and actually, they have quite a big amount of success. They're both played by. They're played by. Hold on. They're played by Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
And also Bryce Dallas Howard, of course.
Oh, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
I like that.
I want to see this movie right now.
I like the two of them together. Okay.
Yeah. So
Wait, Bryce Dallas Howard and Jennifer Lawrence in a prison movie? I'm in.
But behind the scenes, they're actually really funny and they get along, and the family within the prison staff tends to grow. They don't have anybody creating a lot of friction. They're actually working pretty well together, and they're actually fitting in pretty well. When they have to be stern, the inmates are actually responding to them. And what are you laughing at?
I mean, because Jennifer Lawrence is like, you've been
Super
bad,
hot.
and they're like, yes.
Oh, stop it. So they're actually commanding some sort of respect, which is like turning everyone on their head. Until one day, the ghost of the really crazy guy from Green Mile. What was the name of the guy? Played by Sam Rockwell?
Wild Bill.
Wild Bill, the ghost, comes back. We're out of music.
I mean, I can put it back on if you'd like.
The ghost of Wild Bill, reprised by Sam Rockwell, starts to what's the word?
Haunt.
Not exorcist. So the exorcist would
Haunt.
what would they do? No, they would
Poltergeist. Possess.
possess
Ah.
the inmates, and then all of a sudden, everyone's starting to lose control. It's not just about proving whether a woman can do a job; it's just getting out alive. The answer, sorry, damn it, God damn it. The title is "Answering to the Prisoner."
Answering to the prisoner.
Yes.
Very good.
All right, I like it.
I like it.
I'll try to do a shorter one next time.
No. Look, these should be a little bit longer. I kind of
No,
biffed
it's
mine.
good. I was rushing too, but yeah, it's
I gotta turn it back up. Hold on, sorry.
I love it.
That's gonna be on the soundboard now from now on. You gotta let her know.
I don't even particularly love the Green Mile, but I like that idea.
I fucking love the Green Mile, and I totally want to see that movie. I mean, everything about it makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like it.
I try.
I'm on board.
Good music cues too, by the way. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Try to.
So do you want me to pick your cards, or do you want to?
Yeah. Just hand me
Right off the
the
top?
cards. Yeah.
All right, but if you get Emma Watson, I'll be very upset. 2 and 2 and
At
1.
what point should I tell Nick I didn't put Emma Watson in there?
Why don't you tell me there's no Alf while you're at it? That Santa Claus doesn't exist. Fuck you. Take your cards.
First of all, if you got Emma Watson, I know where your screenplay would go, and it would be very. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no.
Nick.
Oh no. God damn it.
I want one of my favorite actresses.
Oh, he's just
I
mad.
haven't masturbated to any of these people.
He's just mad. I got Tom Hanks. Oh my goodness.
Once again, I haven't masturbated to any of these people.
Yes, exactly.
That's why he's upset.
And
Give him something he can work with, for God's
let
sake.
me do a play-by-play here. Right now, Matt Schenk is staring very, very, I would say, with some distress and maybe a bit of concern,
But with purpose.
but with purpose at these cards.
All right.
This is good. It's tough. It's, honestly, like
He's now determining his song of choice.
theater kids would love this. It's like sort of like improv.
It is improv.
It is definitely improv. Okay. All right. I'm gonna try this right here. In a prequel taking place years before the original Snakes on a Plane, we visit a young Samuel L.
In
Jackson.
1807.
Still played by Samuel L. Jackson, but he's got hair.
Right.
You can de-age Samuel L. Jackson in any movie if you put some hair on
Like
his head.
Unbreakable.
And he's going to be flying his first international flight to Britain on a plane piloted by Jared Leto. Not a character played by Jared Leto, but pilot
All right.
Jared Leto,
I love it.
who is actually studying for a role as a pilot. He's up in the cockpit. Now they're flying.
Was Samuel L. Jackson a pilot in the first Snakes
No,
on a Plane?
he was a man.
So he's a passenger
He's
on
a
this
passenger
plane, and Jared Leto.
plane. And
Okay,
Jared
sorry.
Leto, the actual Jared Leto is flying it. It's one of the stewardess's last flights.
They're called flight attendants, by the way.
Not in my retro one, it isn't. This is earlier on. They're called stewardesses.
Touche. They're all smoking.
Played by Helen Mirren.
Ooh, nice.
Who's on there that, of course, Samuel L. Jackson and Helen have a little bit of a flirtatious thing going on. When an unruly passenger, played by Helena Bonham Carter, climbs down into a secret compartment in the plane.
I'm into that.
And unleashes snakes on a plane before there were originally snakes on a plane in a film called Serpents in the Secret. Because it's not even
now we know
in the secret.
Well, hey, listen. Now at least we know why Samuel L. Jackson's had enough of these motherfucking snakes on that motherfucking
I mean,
plane.
he's done this all before.
I would explain so much.
I would have made them all like.
Of course,
Oh
my
God.
title doesn't finish. It's just Serpents in the Secret.
In the secret. Listen, I think
would set
Serpents
it-
in the Secret would just be a straight porn.
No, I would set it.
By the way, Helena Bonham Carter is playing Bellatrix Lestrange, so she has parcel tongue, so she can actually talk to the snakes and mobilize them. So, it's fine.
I would set it in a deodorant for women factory, and they grind up pythons
To put
as
them
the
in.
secret ingredient, and starts working so much better.
Oh, yeah, in secret. In
It's
the
strong
secret,
enough,
yeah.
strong enough for a
Serpent.
man, but built for women.
You've shamed me again. It's much better than my plot. All right, Ben.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna let you know again on mine. That's 2 for 2.
Stinks.
That's right.
I would see that. No, I want some input. I would see that.
You just are gonna hope that Jared Leto dies.
That's definitely like a midnight movie.
Yeah.
on
Did you
a
hear
Sunday
Jared
night.
Leto's gonna be Morbius, the living vampire now? They're gonna bring him into the Spider-Verse. Ugh.
I don't know.
Really?
I only understood half those words.
You don't know Morbius, the living vampire?
No.
It's a cool Spidey villain, and they're doing like another like Venom standalone Spidey villain because they have the. Whoa!
Sorry, I'm just laughing.
It's like you were.
Oh, good for you.
You could have used that in my first.
I
pitch.
didn't want to mess you up.
Aw. You show me more respect than I show you.
No, that's fine. You're better than one of mine.
Okay.
What music would you like?
Comical farce.
Suspense.
Oh God, everyone wants just suspense.
Well, maybe you should have generated some comedic titles.
Yeah, sorry. This is definitely a.
Shit. How
This is about Ebola, okay?
I'm just gonna give you this one again.
Okay.
In a world.
Two women. Enter a
Into women.
enter a help group. They are in a spousal therapy.
Domestic abuse
Domestic
support group?
Yes, domestic abuse support group. There you go. That's the best way. I was going to say spousal abuse therapy.
Spousal therapy.
So
Get that slurred sophisticate ready.
So Julianne Moore is telling her story, and then as she's telling her story, looks across the room and locks eyes with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh man.
And realize that they have the same story to tell. Julianne Moore married to Liam Neeson for 22 years, where he has been physically and mentally abusing her in secret for many, many years.
Qui-Gon.
He has a special set of skills.
Where Scarlett
domestic
Johansson
abuse.
married to a much older, a very well-off Denzel Washington, who has provided for her, but has demoralized her to the point where she is now selling her body on the street because he does not want her. He will not talk to her or whatever. And now the only way that he can find any sort of sexual arousement is if she is with other men.
Wow. This got dark.
They share their story together, and they plot to kill both of their husbands, each one killing the other.
They're gonna go full throw mama from the train.
Yeah.
Full throw mama from the train. And so each one plots and in order to try and both find or to make the title of the movie A Cold Husband.
You realize you have a log line built in. They were both married to cold husbands until they actually made them cold husbands.
There you go.
God damn it, you guys are killing it.
I love how tentatively she starts off and then she finishes it with gusto. Like, I love it. I do.
Well, we're gonna keep playing until we run out of cards here. We got time. We're good,
dude.
Sorry, everyone. We have time. Ooh, I'm gonna go to town on this one. Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh man, Nick is.
Oh, yes.
Titties.
Oh, I love it. All right, I'm gonna need 2 minutes for this one. It's nerd rope, motherfucker.
If you can work that into your movie pitch at any point, I'll give you an extra 10 points on your score because we are scoring. Little did you know. So yeah, it was funny because I kind of thought of this kind of concept for it, and I found out there's a guy that's trying to do like a Kickstarter similar-ish to this, like trying to do a thing where you do like you pitch movies, but he's I think actually spent time making titles and stuff versus I just went on a name like a general religion just takes like a noun and a place and a thing.
What it reminds me of is like the Max Bemis or like the basically a song shop. Where it's like you somebody writes a songwriter and they say, hey, here's kind of what I want it to be about. Here's my life story, or here's what I want this for my dog, and then this is about my dog. And then the songwriter writes a song and they send it to you. Yeah, it's kind of a. Obviously, that's a longer form sort of thing. But
no, sure. Well, I mean, you guys are are doing a better job than me, but yeah, I mean, this could be interesting also to play around with it and say like, hey, we'll give everyone everything like half an hour before the podcast, and you can just very quickly put together your plot line and maybe flesh something out a little more.
I like flying by the seat of your pants a little bit, but it's I mean, if we really wanted to do something that where. I mean, I wouldn't even be opposed to recording it and then 30 minutes later, saying, here's what our thing is. And then, through the magic of editing, being able to come back and 20 minutes.
I don't even know what that word means. All right,
okay.
Nick,
Nick has the fire in his eye.
Nick, what kind of music might you like?
Romantic comedy.
Ooh. So I have one that it'll work for it, but I'm calling this also quirky indie comedy.
Yeah,
so it's a little great. Wes Anderson-y.
That's great. Jake Gyllenhaal stars in this uproarious romp. In San Francisco, California, Jake Gyllenhaal works at an upstart app company in Silicon Valley. He's tired of his life, so he decides he wants to follow his true calling. Become a stand-up comedian in the hard streets of San Francisco's improv.
Oh, you should let me. I could have.
What? Wait, let me So Jake Gyllenhaal moves into San Francisco. He can barely afford rent, especially only working nights, trying to get shows. And he befriends this other comedian who's done the same exact thing. Her husband has passed away. She had retired from the school system, and now she suddenly found herself in a way that she has to support herself, but she doesn't want to find herself in the same situation that he was in. She wants to do her true passion, which is be a comedian. She wanted to do it her whole life, but her husband, who had since died of cancer, forbade her of doing it. Now she's finally living her dream. Played by Frances McDormand.
Okay.
They strike up an unlikely sort of mother-son relationship, lifting each other up during the lows of the tough crowds and
ticket hawking.
And the hecklers. Now they both catch a break when they headline their own show at their buddy's bar. They build it up from scratch. They make the flyers. They get their own friends. They build it themselves because they can't get booked anywhere. But it was a huge success. Angela Bassett is there, who is the owner of the biggest comedy club in San Francisco. Says, you guys have had a tough life. You've worked. I can see that you got good material. I want to give you a chance. You're both going to headline this next month. But not without struggle, because the manager of the Laugh Hut in San Francisco, Benicio del Toro, thinks that Angela has too much of a bleeding heart, and that they should be screening their comedians more thoroughly. But to his surprise and everyone's surprise, they both become a huge hit. They transcend their lives, the difficulties, and they finally learn that they don't have to have their old lives, because now they're laughing at the fog.
Ooh,
Golf claps.
Done,
Golf
sir.
claps. Probably the best so far.
Yeah,
Probably
I
the
think
best.
I think Beth says it best.
I love it.
I never thought we would top your old drops. That is one of my favorite things you've ever
It's
done.
a
really
pretty
is.
good one. How many titles do we have left?
We probably have one for each of us.
Okay, want to do one more round?
Yeah.
Close her out.
That's fine.
All right, here you go. Oh, whoops.
Just one title's enough.
I can't remember if I think that's new.
I think that there's one extra title after this last round. So, Nick, maybe you should just combine the last two titles.
Oh boy.
And now, once again, the Matt Shink play-by-play.
Don't get in his head. Just let him work.
You guys get talking about
But you know what though? I gotta say, I kind of like. I love having a theme and a topic and coming prepared and talking about it. But I also really love shaking it up, doing a game. This is
by the seat
great.
of your pants. Yeah, it's a little bit different.
I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great time too.
I'm having a really good time, and I want to play some more games. I want to play trivia. I don't know if those buzzers are going to work over the microphone, but I'm excited to try it. And I hope that we should probably have Beth back in here too, so we can get some more drops.
All right, I think I got this. I'm
I'm
gonna go with the kind of the '90s comedy on here. All right, Jacksonville, Florida, 2018.
I love it.
Natalie Portman is she's a widower. She's trying to find her way in the big-ish city, but not too big city. And they legalize marijuana, and she says, "Hey, this seems like a lucrative career." She loves weed. She thinks it's great. She decides she's going to open up her own dispensary in Jacksonville, Florida. She's going to be the first legal dispensary opened in Jacksonville, Florida. So she meets up with a young kind of hotshot doctor that doesn't have a lot of scruples, played by Ryan Gosling. Right, and Ryan Gosling, as he's avoiding cereal,
They're totally gonna bone.
helps her kind of feed her patients to get people over under, and they kind of run a little bit of an underground operation to get gearing up to get legal thing. Now, she's working with an attorney to try to get her legalized, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Whoa, damn.
And now Leo is out there, and his idea is that they want to hit all of the old folks' homes in Jacksonville, Florida. They want to do medical marijuana for all of the old people. So they hook up with a girl that works at one of these old people's homes, played by Margot Robbie, right? And Margot basically it's all of them working together in sort of a madcap comedy to sell all of these old people legal medical marijuana. And that's how we know we're watching the birth of what we like to call the green time.
Whoa, I like it. There you go.
Perfectly sunk up with
It's
the
like
end
a
of that music too.
Scorsese / Adam McKay.
It's definitely an
lineup
Adam
there.
McKay movie.
Yeah, it feels like an Adam McKay movie.
A little bit of Battle of Breakers West in there as well.
Nice. It was more evocative of a Kathy Bates Netflix title to me.
Shut your mouth.
Just kidding. I love it.
I
kidding, I love it.
Hey, you deserve your own. I love it there.
Do I get what?
You get one.
Beth,
You
did you like it?
I love it.
Oh, thanks.
Happy to.
Well, I'm glad I did shitty ones because I do like to hear.
It stinks.
Because that's my favorite. All right, Benny.
All right.
Is this the last one, or you got one more? You got one more, right?
There's
Sweet.
one more.
It's up to you if I have one more or
Oh,
not.
hell yeah, you got one more.
Because we actually have, let's see, we have...
Should
we
have
could
two
go-
more
we
then.
could-
Yeah,
we can get two more if we wanted to. But...
Well, you know what? Maybe we'll make the last one a group effort.
Okay.
Figure out a way to do that. But so we got Ben over there.
I do so love playing games at the podcast. Delightful
more
switch up.
thinking on our feet is
Okay,
is
I
a
got
little bit. Oh,
Jesus.
what kind of film? Oh,
Okay, well, so
Ben disgusting.
there's a hard way to really describe it, but this is gonna be a mobster movie.
You have Untouchables still loaded up from the last podcast, right?
I think it's going to be more that Bay one.
Okay. A young woman gets hired to clean houses, one specific house for a very well-to-do couple, every single day. She makes sure everything is spotless, everything is perfect, and then one day she comes upon a body.
Shit.
And she doesn't know what to do, so she cleans it. And she puts it up. She cuts it up into small little pieces, puts it in the bag, and throws it away. This woman, played by Anne Hathaway, had no idea what to do in this case.
She had a Hathaway of cleaning a body.
Later that night, she's confronted at her home by the owner of that house, Robert Downey Jr., who comes in and says, I know what you did, and I saw what you did, and I appreciate it. And then reveals that he's connected with the mob. And says...
Let Matt write the dialogue for this, though.
Yes.
I appreciate it. It's my favorite scene so far.
Yeah. So
I saw what you did last summer, and I appreciate it.
I'm not saying this is exactly verbatim what they say. I'm trying to explain the fucking story here. Okay.
Okay, Tarantino, Jesus.
So thank you for fucking me up there.
Do you want to play a game? Because I'd appreciate it.
I'm involved with the mob, and I think that you would be great to help me clean, essentially, moving forward. So,
The mob's got a lot of body that needs cleaning.
introduces her to the mob boss, Jeff Goldblum, who oversees this.
Goldblum, mob boss.
Yes.
I like this.
Who oversees this this consortium of villains and everything like that. However, the DA, played by Glenn Close, is very, very close. Okay. So
Glenn's getting close.
Glenn's getting very close. So it becomes
Like,
it becomes a game
must
of
clean faster.
come on, Jesus Christ, guys! I thought we were gonna not do this. So it becomes a game of cat and mouse between the maid, her, who becomes a romantic attraction, her boss, Robert Downey Jr., the actual mob boss, and the DA, who is trying to track their every move as she continues to go around cleaning up after all of their dirty business. All in a movie called... Sorry.
Dirty business.
Made, M-A-I-D, in the Night.
Yes.
Did you take artistic license there? Oh, it is M.A. Oh,
Yeah.
love it.
I think I was partly responsible for the change in spelling for that one, but yeah, I
Made in the Night.
I think you've earned something you don't hear a lot from your wife.
I love it.
Touche.
I mean, I saw Princess Diaries 2 in theaters. I'd see anything with Annie Hathaway, including Made in the Night.
I saw what you did, and I appreciate it.
So of
Starring Jennifer Love Hewitt.
of all of mine, I feel like
Freddie Prinze Jr.
I feel like Made in the Night is actually a movie that could be made. Like that seems like a weird.
I think if it was done like a Wild Things, kind of a tongue-in-cheek,
yeah, sure,
like a little
absolutely.
bit, and with it, because my thing was that Glenn Close is in on it. I think Glenn Close,
You think she is in on it,
and Jeff
right?
Goldblum have a little
like they have
thing.
a little. Like maybe he's a paid informant. It's one of those things.
Yeah,
There's duplicitous there at the end. Yeah,
Yes,
I like that
it.
idea.
Yeah. Made in the Night. I think we can do this.
Oh, dude, Made in the Night.
I think it could be one of our best unproduced screenplays yet.
And then
And we have many.
I'll write the screenplay later, and then I'm gonna give it to you tomorrow, and you'll be like, "You already finished?" I'll be like, "It was Made in the Night."
For those of you that don't know, Ben and I have written several unproduced properties. If you're interested in producing any one of them, please, visit us at lastpintprod.com and let us know. Made in the Night could be yours if the price is right.
And if you're Made in the Night,
And if you get... and it's preceded by when they make the porn version of it, it'll just be Laid in the Night. And that's what'll make it work. If you can make a good porn version of any movie, that's a sign of a good movie, right? if you can make a porn title out of it, I think that's the most important thing.
This title is tripping me up. This title is really tripping me up.
The Secret, the Serpent and the Secret.
I got everyone that I got as actors is like fits the title perfectly, but I don't know where to go with it. So let's just go with. I'll really truly make this up as I go along.
Would you? What would you like?
Just so you know, this is what I do with my daughters. Like every single time they tell me to tell a story.
How about?
I'm just like, I want a tortoise and a princess unicorn.
Nick, would it help if I give you a theme that is a retro horror, like an '80s horror movie synth theme, or is that going to hurt you?
Actually, you know what? You just gave me an idea. Let's do it. I'm going to ride it. Okay.
Yeah, he's going to ride it.
Joaquin Phoenix makes his triumphant return to acting.
Wait,
as...
When did he leave?
Huh?
Well, he sort of left and came back and left, and I think he's still gone,
I'm not
right?
here.
Is he here? Well, Joaquin Phoenix is back. We know that much for sure. As acclaimed novelist Stephen King. Ooh. We know Joaquin loves his biopics, right? And it's a young Stephen King who's writing his first novel, and his publicist, played by Kate Winslet, is trying to inspire him to dig a little deeper. He's not quite hitting it on all cylinders. The books are being shipped out to agents and no one's really latching on, but she's sure that he's going to be the next big thing. So he works tirelessly every night. And he comes up with the first draft. And she said, "This might be good. Let's send it to an editor friend I know," played by Jeffrey Wright. He reads the book, and he goes, "This is terrifying, but it's not quite there yet." Sends it back with some more revisions. So he locks himself in his New England apartment, continues writing. One day, he comes back with a script. It's perfect. What was Stephen King's first book, do you know?
Carrie Cujo?
Well, let's say it's Carrie. Stephen King, young Stephen King, has the Cujo. He has the final draft of Cujo. He gives it to Kate Winslet because this is perfect. They send it to the editor. Jeffrey Wright goes, "This is amazing. You're gonna be huge. You're gonna be huge." So Stephen King walks out, and we took a little artistic license. Comes out of his house, about to drive to Publishers Clearinghouse. When not Publishers Clearinghouse. What am I thinking of? What's that publisher? Not Publishers Clearinghouse. What am I thinking of? Penguin Books. Penguin Books, whatever it is. He wanted to get 10 CDs for 15 cents.
Columbia House. Just a Columbia House.
He's about to drop off the final, and after it being put
You
off,
might already be a winner.
after so many drafts and years, he was ready to put this out in the world, but people stopped him at every turn. Finally, as he's on his way, a rival New England horror writer, played by Jessica Chastain, has heard rumors that it might be the best new horror book on the block. So she follows him, she crashes into him.
Oh no.
And the first draft of Cujo goes up in flames. The name. This is all I got. The title of the movie is Delaying the King. Stephen King, that is. That was a rough one.
I mean, I would have just gone with Jessica Chastain as a sex worker because
right.
Stephen King keeps prematurely ejaculating with his wife.
I thought about that too.
And she has to work on delaying the king.
I thought about that too. I mean, this is a serious question I would like to posit to you guys. How long is it going to be until they actually do the meta version of the movie where Stephen King, somebody's playing Stephen King, and it's because they're actually experiencing some sort of supernatural events.
I heard that's in the
their
works.
life.
I heard that.
Well, I mean,
before.
It's not. I didn't just make that up.
I mean, it's in the mouth.
it was
of
a while ago.
It's in the mouth of madness. Like it's been. I mean, it's
Right.
It's been done, but no one's done it with King
Right,
himself.
exactly, with King himself. So it's going to be
Yeah.
King. And no, that's what I mean.
When
It's
did-
going
yeah.
to be Stephen King. Somebody playing
First
Stephen
of all,
King.
by the way, first of all, Joaquin Phoenix as
Stephen King.
young Stephen King is
Boom.
is
Got it.
nailing that
That's
casting.
pretty fucking amazing.
100%. If we don't get anything out of this episode, it's that someone get in touch with Joaquin Phoenix and Stephen King. And be like, we've got to get you guys together because that's fucking great.
Yeah.
I see Joaquin in like the overalls doing the creep show bit and everything on there.
Yeah.
All right. So we have
Big
one
glasses.
more. We have one more title. So what I'm going to suggest is this. I think, Nick, you hand me the title and one actor.
We're doing a roundabout.
Yes, you hand Ben.
This is the telephone version.
You
of the
hand
last
Ben
one.
an actor and an actress, and you take an actor and an actress. I'll get us started. And so we're gonna have five. We're gonna have
There's
five
only one.
people.
Yeah, there's only going to be one.
Oh, well, actually, do it like this. I don't know. I won't know who's going to be casted. You get an actor and an actress. You get an actor and an actress. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to start a plot in motion. You
That's
guys
my
are going to
favorite
cast
cast.
it, and then but you're not going to know what the title is until the very end. You're just going to know from the plot I do.
Okay.
Oh man, this might work out so brilliantly. I don't even know
I
where
love
to
this
begin.
duo
Okay.
that I got here.
All right, let's do. Which one have we not played?
So you're starting the story, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to start it with characters, and you're going to tell me who plays one of at least the first of those characters, and continue the plot.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so let's try. I do just like a modern horror movie. It's 1998. Everyone's hungry to make the best Dean Koontz adaptation they can. A young actor by the name of Ben Affleck is tapped to be in it, but he's not sure if he should do it until he can talk to his best friend.
So Matt Damon, played by Matt Damon,
Of course.
says, I think you should do this movie, bro, but you can only do it if Rachel Weisz is in it. And so Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Rachel Weisz get together.
They call Neil a boot.
And they said, this is a really, really, really interesting idea from a really interesting horror book, but we're not sure if we can pull it off unless we have some really, really stellar other actors in this movie.
I was gonna go. They have to get. I was gonna go a little slightly different way. Instead of actors, they want to get the rights to the new sort of Anne Rice book. It's a vampire writer played by Annette Bening, and it's an Anne Rice allegory. She writes these sexy vampire novels that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are drooling over, and they have to convince her to give them the rights to her book.
Oscar winners, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
That's right. Fresh off their Oscar win.
So they go to her house, and they knock on the door, and Bryan Cranston, played by Bryan Cranston, opens the door.
The door is played by
Now
Bryan
it's
Cranston.
it's a very predictably gothic mansion.
Rachel Weisz is with them, right?
Yes, they're all there,
She's always with us.
and the butler is acting a little strange. He's got an amulet around his neck. He's wearing kind of a cape. He shows them the way to Anne Rice's boudoir, and they proceed to try to convince her to get the rights to the book. But as the night goes on, they start noticing more and more strange similarities between her characters in the vampire books and the butler, played by Bryan Cranston.
Nice.
And what's the name of the movie?
Well, we're not quite done with
Okay.
that plot just yet. So Ben Affleck is
He's got
involved.
to dot all the I's now.
Ben Affleck narrowly escapes this mansion by the skin of his teeth. And he says, and he has a decision. Bryan Cranston at the end says,
The skin of his fangs.
Yes, this could be the role that makes your career. You have to choose correctly. And Ben Affleck says, no, I think I should do the Dean Koontz film, Phantoms. And it turns out that he was, this is the title of the movie, wrong about the Phantoms.
Yo, Ben Affleck was the bomb and wrong about Phantoms.
I just knew it says
It
Nick
only
together. I was just
worked
like,
because I saw the Matt Damon thing, and I was just like, wrong about the Phantoms. Oh, yeah, I've got to go the Phantoms route. And I was like, Nick's going on like the gothic thing. I'm like, I've got to figure out how to get him out of this castle.
or it's that all of them, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and Rachel Weisz passed on the Phantom, played by Billy Zane.
Oh, Billy. Why wasn't Billy Zane in this deck?
He really should have been. Well, see, next time I think we can have a little more fun creating the actors on there. But I think we'll keep all of these actors in as well.
Yes, exactly.
I'm just
We
going to
have
start
them.
adding to the deck.
There you go. Good idea.
Scatman Jones wasn't that?
Scatman Jones.
Yeah, we'll get everyone involved in it, you know, as many people as we possibly can. But
Beautiful.
that was super fucking fun.
was fun.
I hope it was fun to listen to out there.
We'll see.
Again, if you are new, you can find us on Spotify, you can find us on iTunes, you can find us on Google Play, and you can go to our website, www.lastpintprod.com. We're on the Facebook at Last Pint. We're on the Twitter. We don't have an Instagram yet. But what will we do on an Instagram?
Maybe we should do an Instagram.
I mean, have you seen us?
Nick, it's your time.
Yeah, Nick, maybe you'll get an
It's your
Instagram
time.
going for us.
You start the Instagram.
Up there, it's your time.
Instagram is my jam.
Down here.
It's
It's our time down here.
We
It's
hope,
my Insta jam.
we hope you guys liked it. Well, thanks, Beth. I appreciate that you liked it. And you're gonna have to let Beth know that we have a new drop that's gonna
I'm
forever
not sure if
be
she's
on
going
here.
to love or hate that, or if I'm never having sex again.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, thank you so much for listening to The New Way, and you'll hear from us next episode. Peace. We out of here.
Cheers.
Peace be out of here.
Peace. Yeah, it's an SNL. Ooh, that's a bad look, huh? Peace. We out of here.
You tried your best. Bye, everybody.
Sorry.